Welcome back to the basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome back to the basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness.
I know you all heard of melanin by now, but have you ever heard of supreme melanin? The average person will tell you that melanin makes you brown. And today, you're right. But did you know that supreme melanin actually makes you green, not brown? You are brown today because you're arrested. And this is due to the intake of so many ions and oxygen, which are actually poisoning your biological system. Many older cultures depicted their gods as green. Take Krishna of the Hindus, for instance. He is depicted as aquamarine, which is bluish green. The American Indians use the color topaz, and the deities of ancient Egypt, Isis and Osiris, who are our ancestors, was depicted in olive-toned green skin. Just look at the walls of ancient Egypt. Let us not forget that we are sea people. The reproductive fluid of a man is called semen, or semen, which looks very similar to a tadpole. After the semen fertilizes a woman's egg, this triggers growth inside her water-filled womb, of which all of us were submerged in for 9 months, breathing in water like a fish. And we still do, for water is always in the atmosphere. It's just less dense. Now, the reason I brought this up is because some babies are still born with green spots on their bodies. And if you ask the doctor, what are those green spots, they will say they will go away, but never telling you what they are because they just don't know. Those green spots are due to the baby not taking in too much oxygen. So why are we brown? Well, you're brown because you lack a vital element that was lost, and that element was magnesium. Magnesium is the 8th most abundant element on Earth. 8% of magnesium produced today is by way of electrolytic method from seawater, and it's not only there, it's also in plants and animals. The body of the average adult only contains about 25 grams of magnesium, which is very low. Over time, iron took its place. So when you mix iron and water with oxygen, it indefinitely rusts, which is the color brown. But the fact is, we were originally green. Green little people. Makes you wonder about the concept of cinema, where they'll talk about the little green men. Since we live in a sun system, or a solar system, if you look around, based on everything that we see on this planet, the color that most assimilates best with sunlight is green. For it is birthed from the relationship between the sun, which appears yellow, and the waters, which appears blue. And these two primary colors together produce the green vegetation all over the planet Earth. So in your very essence and in your environment, the melanin throughout your body is the same thing that colors this very planet. The most primitive and universal pigment in living organisms is melanin. Melanin is concentrated in the pineal gland, and it is abundantly found in primitive organisms such as fungi. Within each and every living organ which aids the human body, melanin appears, regardless of what color your skin appears to be. All genes on this planet and all creatures on this planet are black because they all are coated with melanin. The amount of melanin in your skin is one of the most variable traits in humans. The hue of color of your skin depends on several factors. First is the amount of melanin in the outer layers of the skin. Melanin acts as a filter to prevent damage to the delicate, deeper layers of the skin by the penetration of the ultraviolet rays. You must understand that there are 2 types of melanin that does not run parallel to one another. You have brain melanin, which is known as neuromelanin, which plays an important role in the function of the brain and the nervous system. And you also have skin melanin, of which we will discuss. Skin melanin is synthesized from the amino acid tyrosine by pigment cells in the epidermis layer of your skin, called melanocytes, and a small sac-like structure called melanosomes that actually makes the melanin. These little sacs of melanin determines your skin color. When there is a little bit of melanin in the melanosome, you look white. When it is totally filled, you look black. So your skin tone is determined by the amount of melanin the melanosomes contain. In the skin, melanocytes are characterized by long fixed extensions of outer membrane. In humans and other mammals and reptiles, it is dispersed permanently throughout each melanocyte, including the extension, and then it is transported to nearby skin cells. In other words, if you increase the amount of melanin in the skin, you become darker, and vice versa. When the melanocytes are stimulated by solar ultraviolet radiation, tanning occurs. In your hair cells, right? There are also two types of melanin, one being dark brown and the other being red, giving you all the shades of hair, right? The pigment that contributes to skin color are called keratin, which is yellow, and the hemoglobin in your blood vessels are pinkish red. So melanin can be black, brown, or red. Accept it or not, melanin is a very important molecule that controls all mental and physical body activities. It is an extremely stable molecule and highly resistant to the digestion by most acids and bases. If you do not purify your melanin, it becomes toxic, and you will not be able to heal your body of diseases. To purify your melanin, you should take in vitamin B. Although all individuals have melanin, even white people who are just melanin recessive beings, black people have the most melanin and thus are dominated by it. Your body is dedicated to making melanin, for it was given to you as a gift from Pa-Neter, which is the ancient Egyptian name for overseers or deities who created you. Melanin is the finest of the refined chemicals known to your species. There are different types of melanin carrying beings that all have different hues, from the very dark brown to the blackest of black. They are found in the depths of what is being called Africa today. In Egypt, you'll find those of the black hue. In Ethiopia, you'll find those of the greenish hue. In Nigeria, you'll find those of the brown hue. From the bushland of Zimbabwe and the Kalahari Desert, you'll find those of the yellow hue. In Sudan, you'll find those of the copper tone reddish hue. And here in the Western Hemisphere, where we reside, because of much mixing with American Indians as well as other races, our hue varies in shades of all the others I've mentioned. Yet they all produce an abundance of melanin in the skin. Over time, information has a way of moving away from its center, and that's the sole reason why you have to get back to the basics. I'm Kev Frey. Like, share, subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that bell. Tell a friend. Thank you.
Facts we stated, you wanna know something, go back to basics. Most saw trapping was called the Matrix. The world civilized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you